everyone, Nerdy Nikki here, and today I am going to do the final step, which is finishing this up, painting it, and all that. So I'm super duper excited. I can't wait. So it's gonna be awesome. I'm gonna love this. But yeah, I hope everyone had a very Merry Christmas. I had a great Christmas. I mean, I had so much fun, but yes. So yes, we are going to finish the final stage. This is what it looks like so far. So as you can see here, I did sculpt the machine gun, and I have a piece of clay holding it up, so you guys probably think that's weird. And yes, so this is what it looks like. So I'm just gonna slowly turn this around so you guys can see. And the hand moves, so it's like, here you go, here's a gift. So, and then there's spikes at the end, as you can see. Now the empty space right here is so I can put moss around and everything else. Yellow, hey! Hey guys, welcome to the stream. Hey Burning One, hey Sports. Now I'm going to be adding moss eventually, and I have two types of moss, but I'm only going to show you guys what the different color is. This one is more like a kind of like fairy tale, nature-y kind of theme. Like, it's fantasy, and this is what I use for that. I'm going to use the realistic one that kind of has a more earthy tone that actually has dirt in it, because I'm trying to give it that realistic look. On top of that, I'm going to be adding some white sand and some black sand that I have. So here's some white sand, and I have some black sand over there. So yes, without further ado, I'm going to get started. And we're going to be adding some resin too to make the stand stick, so you guys get to see how that goes. I got a PS4 yesterday. That's cool. No, I'm not smoking weed. So yes, and I have a protector right here. So this way, when I'm painting, you guys can see that resin likes to go everywhere. So that's why, you know, I do that. And no, I don't do that shit. I'm gonna be honest. I tried it once, but that was just yeah, that's ridiculous. But yes, that's what I did. Alrighty, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to start to paint and have some fun. I already started painting on a little bit of stuff, but other than that. So how are you, Burning One? How are you? How are you? So I'm just going to start adding the shadows of grays right now. Thanks, Otaku. I appreciate it. And hope you had a wonderful Christmas. Thank you, Otaku. I appreciate it. I was like so anxious to get this done because I loved it. Like, I did such an amazing job on it. This was a very fun project for me. I just actually finished it. It took me like till the end of today to actually finish sculpting it. I do still have a little more details to go, which is basically creating the bullets. But other than that, that's pretty much about it. And I know a lot of you guys are busy, which gives me the time to just relax and just have some fun right now. Instead of having like a really, really loud chat going crazy. And me fooling around like always. Hey Harrison, how are you doing? Yeah, I saw that on, you know. My sound is low? Hold on, let me change that. I'm sorry. Let me see. Come on, OBS. Beep boop. Let me see if I can change it. Boop boop. Okay. I have the microphone now really close to me. Is that better, you guys? You guys get to actually hear. I have to be careful because, like, I have my music, so I'm hoping you guys don't hear that too. So I have to be careful on that since it's, like, really, really close to my headphones. But is that better? Can you hear me now? Tap, tap, 1, 2, 3. Okay, so that's better. Alright, I'm glad. Yeah, but I heard about your internet. I even saw that. Can you hear me now? Yes. Can you hear me now? Yes. Can you hear me now? Yes. Shut up. Okay. Yes. It's a pretty nice snowman. Oh my god, this snowman will totally eat you up then. Oh, this snowman is pretty nice. Yeah, this snowman is deadly, just saying. Hey, Nightlight Joker, how are you doing? Yeah, you get to watch the final stages. Oh gosh, you guys are silly. Dragon class has BO4 now. Nice. Nice, 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 nice. I need to start getting back into Black Ops 4, to be honest, just to have some fun and just to relax a little bit. But to be honest, I like doing this. This was actually a really nice project to do. I honestly love this project. This was like by far my favorite project I've ever done. Yeah, go ahead. What's up? What advice do you need? I can try to help, but you know how I am. So I'm just blending actually the two colors in, which is here and here, of the white. Or collect them? Yeah, I did actually collect them until I had to sell some just to pay some bills and stuff. So I did create the Spyro, which I sold even though I didn't want to. This one, I don't know. This one will be up for grabs. Depends. Because I gotta pay some bills. So, we'll see. We'll see. But this really took me a long time just to make, so yeah. Some pride and joy here. Some pride and joy. But yeah, it depends. But normally I do sell some and everything else. Sometimes I do keep them, like if I really, really like it. But so far it sucks too because I want to get a shelf eventually and I want to put my work on it. So when I do face cam, you guys will be able to see in the background a lot of my work that I do. So, thank you. Right now, I'm just adding a base. Why is Harrison being a bad boy? So, I'm trying to work on bad... Yeah, no, I don't. Nope. Yeah, I don't eat my own boogers. That's you. Hey, Game Slayer, welcome to the stream. How are you doing, broski? So I'm just actually blending this snowman monster, kind of like reaching out to it. And then I have to start adding more and more details. Then he has spikes, so it's going to take a while for me to actually paint this because I have to do layers upon layers. And then I actually have to do details upon details. You're not a dumbass. goodness. Your brother from another vagina, that's what you are. What the fuck are you doing? What are you doing? My mom's being creative and she's making a clothesline to dry our clothes since our dryer's been broken for like 4 or 5 months. So she's like, I'm gonna be creative. Creativity, yeah. There we go. So eventually I'll start doing the details. LOL, hey grandma. Oh god. She's not grandma. She's old lady. I called you old lady. But I love you though. I called you grandma. Old lady! Harrison called you grandma. My mom was like, Harrison! Gotta kick your ass now, Harrison. Alright. Oh, God. Hey, Ataka waves at Mommy's mom. Yes, Harrison is waving to you.
Hello, Harrison.
You can say hi to everyone. You know that, right?
Hi, guys.
There you go. My mom says hi, everyone. That's in the chat. There we go. I'm gonna love this because once I start adding the details to it, it's just gonna turn out so pretty. Let's see. Let's go then, Harrison. Throws a book at Otaku. Oh my god! Don't mind my mom. Walks and drags tail and ears flopping down. What's wrong? Hello, Nikki's mom.
Hello.
That was Otaku.
Oh, hi, Otaku. Merry Christmas. Happy New Year.
Yup. Like I said, my mom's being creative with that clothesline here. Didn't work.
Don't have anything to put it up.
You could kind of stick it underneath the couch. That's just me, though. Yep, she loves that clothesline. Right now, she's just being creative. She's trying to do that. And then here, I'm just kind of like building the spikes in the ice. So I'm trying to do like a whitewash, and then I can start adding like the green details, the highlights here and there.
Was Santa Claus good to everyone?
My mom asked if Santa Claus was good to everyone. Well, I know Harrison went on a cruise, that lucky bastard. He went to the Bahamas.
Nice. Want to take me next time with you, Harrison?
Oh my god. Hey, Harrison, do you want to take a MILF with you? Oh, hey, Alicia. Hey, Naniki. Hey, welcome to the stream. How are you doing? Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Sorry you're witnessing, like, just a bare minimum of, like, the finished product, but it's going to take me a long time to paint it. But other than that, yeah, I hand sculpted this for a friend. Like, this whole stream was dedicated to a friend of mine. And yeah, I had so much fun making it. It's an evil snowman, or my version of an evil snowman. I'm doing great, thank you for asking. Hey, Purple Haze, how are you doing? I love this. It's coming to life. Well, I'm glad. I'm glad. Hey, sister. Well, like I said, guys, it's going to take a while because I do have to add the moss. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be adding moss, dirt, everything to this. So the whole idea is I kind of like wanted to do an evil snowman because I like Krampus. And I wanted it to be like kind of like Frosty the Snowman, but like his evil side. So like taking after the myth of Krampus of being Santa Claus's, bad side. So Frosty the Snowman has a bad side. The only thing is he kind of has like an illusion where little kids, they go up to him, they think that, oh, it's Frosty the Snowman, he's so nice, ha ha ha. And that's the hint of this present. So his arm can move around. It took me a while to do that, but his arm can move around. So this little kid, like it's supposed to be his snowman like offering a gift to the little girl or boy. But then what happens is once they take that gift, it's like, giving, not receiving. So the kids grab the present and then basically Snowman eats them or consumes them. When basically he picks them up with his claws, sometimes if they do like kind of escape, what he does is he takes out his machine gun and he kind of blows them to bits. And then he rips them open and consumes their body. Yes, so that's basically my evil snowman. I wanted to do something that was really creative in ways, and I was actually thinking about doing a little comic strip. I started working a little bit on that. So once it's done, I mean, it'll probably go with it too. I'm not sure yet, but I like to have stories with my pieces whenever I create them and sculpt them. Thanks, Purple Haze. You're just smoking and watching? So you're not streaming? You're just like smoking and watching? Nice. Well, here, I got some grass for you. Oh, God. Hey, Ash. So like I said, sometimes painting could take up to like 2 hours and stuff like that, but at least I get to talk to you. I wanted to do a stream, but I wasn't sure about if my internet was going to kind of shut off. So I'm glad that it hasn't yet. So I get to spend time with you. Oh, well, I guess as us artists, this is like a norm to us. Like for me, this is just a calm kind of like way where I can just sit back and relax, I guess. So whenever I'm stressed, I like to do horror things. Like I like doing scary things and pieces like this. I like doing some challenging things, but the only thing is actually I was reading upon something, and they said that sculptors, believe it or not, can't really draw. So I actually want to prove them wrong because I can draw. It's just from references. But I have been working on my own little characters, so I can't wait to bring those to life. So once I get an actual business license for my characters, that'll be great. So I want to, become an illustration artist since I have that graphic design degree. So I can kind of put that to work a little bit. Is that an animatronic? No, I actually sculpted this, Ash. I handmade this. Hey, Wookie, thank you. So I actually made this where this is an armature that I had, like, those drawing little dummies? I ripped mine apart and then I made his arm so this way it can actually move. So I don't have to worry. And at the end right here, it actually has like a little bit of a chunky edge. So this way the clay does not grip on top of it, so it can actually move around. And then I had the feet where I didn't like the feet too much because it kind of ripped it apart. So this is actually a child in the snowman. And that's like leftover skulls and bodies and all that stuff. So let's see if you guys are... Oh, well, thank you. Yeah, no problem, Shade. Yeah. So this is actually handmade, but thank you for thinking that it's an armatron. I take credit for that. Thank you. But no, everything that you see here, I hand sculpt. So, hey, Bob Ross, welcome to the stream. Well, it's going to take a while for me to paint that, but other than that, I'm just trying to do a white coat on it, and then what I have to do is I have to start doing the shading, which is with grays and dark grays. A little bit of green because we're going to be adding some moss, some dirt, and sticks and twigs and all that stuff. And then we have to paint this a little bit brown. This orange, the Hellgun, then we have to actually add the bullets to it. So that's the only thing. So you guys are going to see me a little bit sculpt, but not so much. But yes. But I do have 2 videos up to prove that I did make this. So if you guys want to check that out. But I did off camera, like the present a little bit. I did add the nose and the helpies. There's a child inside. It makes the Halloween theme. But it's, yeah. Well, I like to be creative with my pieces and just like whatever comes to mind. Like my specialty, I love horror and I love doing it right. So I do have to add some blood to this and all that stuff. Like I said, it's, yeah. It's not going to be pure white. So the illusion is basically when it's up to a kid, because kids believe in, you know, Santa Claus and stuff like that. This Frosty the Snowman is supposed to be good. And that's the illusion. But then when he gets closer, accepts the gift and everything, that's when Frosty the Snowman reveals himself and he freaking consumes the child. He rips them apart. Like he drinks the blood with his flesh and yeah. Don't want to gross you guys out, but yeah. So there's... Okay, I already read that. I'm good. Thanks, Wookie. Yes. I'm going to go. Don't forget to check your DMs. Oh, where are you going, Shade? Yeah, I never played Borderlands 2, so I wouldn't know. I just, like, started sculpting this and just kind of went with it. I wanted to do something horrifying. And, like, I wanted to find something that was scary, and then I kind of added... my friend wanted me to do a machine gun, like a hell gun to him, and instead of him holding it, I decided to put it as one of his arms. So kind of like a cyborg kind of thing. Who knows? Maybe. I mean, I don't know yet, but maybe one day. Maybe I'll have, like, a little art show dedicated to myself. Who knows? You may never know, right? You may never know. Mm-hmm.
The garbage bin back here.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay. But that's pretty much it. There we go. Oh, damn, Nikki. Yes, I know. Damn, right, Otaku? No, I don't have a PS4 camera. This is actually my laptop camera. I don't have a PS4 camera. I want to get one eventually, but that's not really important. Like I said, once I get a good setup, I'll be able to do face cam so you guys can see and have some fun and all that stuff. I just gotta remember to wear clothes. That's the only thing. Yeah, exactly. I already did one a long time ago, so most of you guys actually do know what I look like. So that's pretty much about it. Yeah. I just wanted to get, like, a new setup and everything else before then because I want to get 2 webcams so you guys can see my face and see my side of what I'm doing, like, sculpting, like, from this angle. And then actually me showing the actual process of the sculpting. You know what I mean? So you get 2 views instead of just 1. Because it's, like, complicated. And, like, I have a black desk and it's big. So it is taking up some space, too. So I'm very limited on where I can put things right now. So I do have to clean up my area. But other than that. My Christmas day was good. What's my next video game? I'm not quite sure. I don't know yet. Let me see. I honestly don't know. I will be getting, well, hopefully, I'll be getting a new mouse. So this way I can kind of like do my my PC games. Because I do have, like, some horror games there. But I don't really have that much games on, kind of PS4. I mean, I do have the Stick of Truth. I tried playing the Fraction of the Butthole, but I personally didn't like it, to be honest. Hey, Chris, thank you for coming by. Hey, Trevor, welcome to the stream. So, yeah, that's pretty much about it. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Right now, I'm just doing the white painting. Sorry guys for the background noise. Oh, really? Yeah. Normally, the reason why I'm just streaming, like I said, I don't really stream sometimes at this time, but I do want to because I used to stream at this time too. I used to do 2 streams a day back in the day, but normally I stream in the morning whenever I can for a couple of hours, like 2. But it's been a while since I last streamed, so I think maybe my next stream is going to be early in the morning. I just don't know what yet. And then I have a birthday request because a birthday boy is going to be happening January the 2nd. So this is going to be awesome. Haha, games. So this is going to be awesome. I have to work on a schedule, but to be honest, like, I guess I don't really have a schedule to stream. It's just like whenever I stream, whenever I feel that inspiration, you know, stuff like that. Or whenever I can, in other words. So, yeah, I wanted to create, actually, because I wanted to, whenever I play a video game, I wanted to sculpt something that has something to do with that. So I think I'm going to make my own, probably the Stick of Truth little figures. So I might do that. Yeah, my mom's is January the 8th. So that's going to be interesting. So definitely no stream there. Just saying. So, yeah. Oh, yeah, definitely. You know that. Of course you're going to have that. Sorry, guys. Let's see. So the white is actually looking pretty interesting. I like how the character is starting to unfold right now. Then I have to kind of paint its flesh right here. Does Nikki sound like... Wait, what? I sound like Ruby? What? Ugh, you and the Ruby, I swear. First games and now you. Really? There we go. I'm like loving this. Oh my god. It's turning out so awesome. I'm so proud of myself. Eventually I'll probably like the new material that I want to try is like airbrushing eventually, but I'm not ready for that. So down the road I will be. Down the road. I just need more practice. That means more videos of art. Aren't you guys amazed? In order to do airbrushing, we need to practice more. Practice, practice, practice. Yeah, you're over Ruby, but you were so obsessed for that Dex episode that came out. You're like, oh my god, oh my god. You were just like counting down the days, and I'm just like, boy. Hey, General Nation, welcome to the stream. How are you doing? Okay, you know what? Shut up, games. Fuck you. Bet Ruby doesn't swear, eh? Alright, so I'm just going to tilt this just a bit. Just so we can get in here. The one thing that I love about these brushes is that, like, I actually got a good deal on them. I got, like, a lot for $4 over at the dollar store. So, Wookie, if you're still here, look at the dollar store. They have awesome brushes. It's like a big, huge pack for $4. Oh, God, yes. The dollar store is the home for art supplies sometimes. Especially for great bargains. That's what I love looking at. First the dollar store. Then when I have to, then I'll spend the money. But for watercolors, you don't go to the dollar store for that shit. Go to Michael's. Or in this case, like Joann Fabrics or like Hobby Lobby and stuff. Or eBay. Shut up! I should call this Evil Olaf. I should make an Evil Olaf just to scare the little whiny little bitches.
of little kids. Let it go! Let it go! Just like freaking Screamo music. Oh, yes. I should have Screamo music in the background for them, just to scare them off. Yeah, shut up, Molly, shut up! You shut up. I'm probably scaring people already. There we go. Get sassy. Don't even. Yeah, I just even. So, ha! I'm just making sure that I kind of get, like, every last detail, because I did do a lot of texture in this. So I'm just making sure that the paint goes through the texture, and I don't, like, spread a good amount of paint to cover the details. So I'm just kind of, like, dabbing the brush, so this way the paint kind of sinks into the details, and it doesn't, like, globber over, so it hides it, and then you get, like, one big glop, and it just looks nasty looking. So I'm just trying to, like, maintain the details and making sure that the paint is just, like, distributed evenly on the back area. So, and thank you all for looking into that, Nikki. Yeah, no problem. No problem. I like to look for great deals. So I don't know if the deal is in the US, but like I said, you can always check the dollar store, because sometimes they have, like, great stuff. Just like Value Village. Value Village over here does, like, some great art supplies. Like, people were dumb enough to freaking, like, literally give away clay, and I'm just like, why are you giving away clay? Like, it was ridiculous. I came across, like, color pencils at that time. They were $40 color pencils, and they were selling them for $3.99. I'm just like, oh, jackpot, baby! So that was, like, an art dream. Well, Nikki is a yandere character. Hey, no, I'm not. Maybe for coffee. Maybe. Yes. There you go. I could be cute, but then I could be a bitch. Yes, that is totally me. Don't mind right now. There we go. Oh, Jesus Christ! Old goat. Thank you, Trevor. I appreciate it. That scared the shit out of me. Thank you, Trevor. I appreciate it. That's true. Oh, good night, Jamie. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Yes. I mean, I actually really enjoy making sculptures, and that's the whole point of my art streams, is to make people calm and love it. Yeah, that's basically what happens. Streamlabs takes part of it now. Like, it really rips it apart. So, like, say if someone sends, like, a 10 or something, it drops it down completely. It's so stupid. But, yeah, don't worry about it. I appreciate it, Trevor. Oh, really? What's wrong? Are you okay? What the fuck is that? It's called my Austin Powers, okay? Everyone loves that, and everyone knows that I am obsessed with Austin Powers, and I'm never getting rid of that. Oh, that's a pie? Oh. I thought it was a bed. I'm going to pie you later. I'm going to meet stuffed crusty. Oh, God, ew. We won't go there anymore. Well, I'm so proud. And you know what? That's good, because it's a big reliever, and you get to start all over and just relax. It's like a big relief of everything. Yes. I'm loving this. Just get in the corners and the edges. And I had to actually find super glue, so it took me a while, but I actually have super glue now. So I'm just like, yes, thank you, thank you. I'm loving this so much. I think the one thing that I like about sculpting is that, like, even if I don't know how to draw, like, my own characters right now, like, I do a little bit, but not so much. But even though I can't, I can always sculpt them. And that's what I love. So I can create, like, that 3D image that I need, and then I can draw them. And that's what I like about it. So I may not be, like, an awesome sculptor that's, like, so fancy and, you know, that's famous. But you know what? At least I love doing what I love. And it makes you guys happy. And I get to talk to you guys and communicate with you and just see what's up. So I'm loving it. Yes. I saw, like... Jamie runs around screaming. Why are you screaming? Speaking of pie, everyone ever taste yam pie? Yes, I actually have. I have tried yam pie. I don't like it. And then there's like a purple yam. It's like a sweet Filipino one, and it's like I don't know how to explain the texture, but it's like sweet, like the purple stuff. I also tried like their ice cream and all that stuff. It's pretty good. Oh gosh. Calm down. Jeez. See, this is what I do. A naughty boy. Stop it. Calm down. No touchy. Yeah. I know it's a Filipino dish because yeah, we won't go into that. But I've also tried a lot of Filipino dishes. I'm not saying the word, the B word in Spanish, but there is like putos. It's like a dessert, and it's like an egg custard dessert, and oh my god, I love it. Oh my god. It's so good. Ugh. Yum yum. It's like my favorite. No, you calm your hormones, okay? God dang. That's what a hand's for. Well, thank you so much. I really appreciate it, Trevor, and thank you so much. You know, you could leave me a comment on what you want me to doodle. You know that, right? So just let me know. No, it's like, okay, so for example, the puto is like, it has the lighter, so it has like the egg yolk. So it's like, kind of like a custard dessert, and it's steamed. So it has like, it's like in the molds. So it has like the darker yolk at the top, and then at the bottom, or vice versa. It's one of them too. But it's like a dish and then it's like a dessert, and it's so creamy, and it's kind of like a spongy kind of like, it feels like a spongy kind of texture, but it's not. Like, it's steamed. Like, that's how they cook it. Hey, sis, how are you doing? Sending you some love. Thank you so much. I appreciate it, girl. How are you doing? How was the Christmas? How are the doggos? How are they doing? Did they get lots and lots of treats? Yeah, it's very, very good. I do like some of their yam, like their ice cream. I don't like the fruit cubes in them though. It's like little jelly cubes. I don't like that, but just the yam itself, it tastes so good. Like, what is it called? I like boba tea, and with the tapioca beads, and I do like what is it? Territory or no, like, oh my god, Tadori or I can't think of it. That's sad. But I like the green tea and all that stuff, but then I like the yams. That's it. I just can't think of it. Oh my god. Stop being a little shit. Or the snowman will come after you and eat you. How about that? I can't think of it right now. They did? That's nice. You gotta, like, show me. You gotta definitely show me. Yeah. Tempura or something. It's pretty good. I love it. It's actually pretty good, but it's expensive, but it's pretty good. I mean, I enjoy it. I mean, it's a great treat and all that. I always liked my green tea. Always. I don't know. I just like, I'm obsessed with green tea. I know, this is probably going to make you relax, Chris. I'm sorry. The Snowman is Freddy Krueger. How about after the stream, Jamie? Does that sound good? So I used a harder clay for this, so it is going to dry like a pure resin. So this, I won't have to worry about it if I'm going to ship it because it is very durable. Same with here. So the tinier details, like the spikes and all that, actually have good clay. So like I said, this figurine used up a lot of good materials, and I'm just so in love with it. Ugh. This is like one of my best creations that I did by far. Like, I mean, just, you know, wanting to do something like this. I took my time, I relaxed, I had some fun with it, and to be honest, I adore this figurine. It's by far one of the greatest figurines. I mean, I did do the keeper, but, you know. Alright, I am. Jesus Christ. Oh, shit. I see. Yeah, I'll definitely talk to you, Shade, about that if you want later. Because I know you don't want your stuff public here, but, you know, if you want me to give my opinion without saying so much, I could. There we go. Alright, so what I'm doing right now is I'm just kind of like building up on the spikes because I do want eventually to add like some blues and some grays to it because this is just white for right now. And then, like I said, I'm going to be painting on the details little by little. So that's going to come in once the paint dries, pretty much. And there we go. Gives Harrison beef jerky. Yummy. Thank you guys so much for being here. It really means a lot to me. I'm glad you're loving this guy. By the way, speaking of that, we do need to name him. So keep in mind, too, the most popular vote, we can name him if you like. I don't want him to just be like Frosty the Snowman. I want to give him like a badass killer name. Jerky sandwich, yummy. Okay, give me a second. There we go. I'm actually really loving this. Oh my goodness. Okay, there we go. Now I just have to do a second coat. I started to watch this old Nickelodeon because my friend GameSlayer showed me it. I haven't finished it yet, but have you guys ever watched, it's called like The Good Burger? I haven't fully finished it yet, but it's pretty interesting. It's funny, to be honest. Like, it's dorky humor, and I like that. I don't know if you guys have ever seen it, but if you guys have, then you guys know what I'm talking about. It's kind of like a word. It's kind of like a mouthful. I want it to be like something simple, but yet that sticks, you know? Alright. There we go. So now I'm just going to switch it up to make a smaller detail brush. You think you've seen it before? Hey! Don't start. Alrighty, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually start to paint the machine gun. And I'm going to use silver because we're going to also give it like very rustic a feel to it. So I'm going to also mix in some black too. Just a bit. Yeah, I do art commissions. Like that's basically, okay, so Chris, I'll talk you through it. Nick requested this because he wanted to, and like, I wanted to do it as a creative piece, but when I do an art commission, it depends on like anything. Usually when people do donate, I kind of like, I do an art commission for them and stuff, like a drawing or something, and I want to get back a printer so this way I can actually start to scan it on a PDF so you guys actually have it again. So that's pretty much what I do. In the meantime, I can't do that right now, but that's why I'm just drawing. But yeah, I do that. It depends on, like, you know, what it is. Then if you want me to send it and all that stuff too. What's the show about? It's actually funny. It's basically, like, without spoiling it so far from what I've seen, it's about basically, like, two companies going head-to-head and someone creating a secret sauce and everything else to kind of help them out. And I think maybe someone that gets into trouble and he kind of discovers what true friendship is all about and all that stuff. So. No, I'm not actually familiar about it. If you want, you can definitely tell me about it. Because that would be cool. I always like to learn about more like new things of what people like, especially my subscribers. I'm actually really loving how the grayish kind of like black just really stands out on this. Oh, I love it. Now, just in case if you guys just came in, this is basically just to hold the whole piece together, which is like until it's like fully done curing. Then I have to kind of like blend it all together here. Oh, really? Huh. Seriously. I'll definitely have to check it out again. Oh, seriously? Huh. Huh. Let me just, I'm just going to paint this one bit, and I'm just going to write it down, so this way later on I can look it up. And then I'm just going to look at Discord, too. So, where's my pen at? I like how I don't have, like, pens around or anything else. I'm just, like, looking around. I'm just like, pen, where are you? Okay, so let's see. I'm just writing this right now. There we go. Okay, there we go. Got it. I wrote it down so this way I won't forget. Sorry if I fall asleep. Well, that's the whole point. You guys get to sit back, relax from a rough day, and just enjoy me having some fun and just painting and talking. It's the whole reason why I do this. And what do you want me to actually make? Like him himself, or like a character from the game? Yeah, no problem. Oh, yeah. Okay, well, you're gonna have to, if you do something like that and want me to make something like that, you'll have to send me like multiple like pictures from like front view, side view, all that stuff. The clearer the photos, the better, so this way I can actually get like every detail. And if you know the armor that you wear, so on and so forth, like, yeah. Because that would definitely help too. There we go. Alrighty, so now that it has that, where is my white? I'm like looking for my water and I'm just like, where the hell is it? Okay, so I'm just going to kind of use a baby wipe to clean up my hands because I'm just going to look on Discord. So give me 1 second. Let me see. Guys, if you want, you can join my Discord where I do post a lot of my artwork from time to time. You guys get to chat, you guys get to hang out, meet new friends, and, you know, promote your streams, share your artwork, creative writing, all that stuff. So if there's any tab that I'm missing, you guys can just let me know. But yes. Hey Ray, hola, buenos dias, or buenos noches. There you go. So feel free to check it out and join. The moment you act up, Jamie, let's just say that, it's gone. Comprende? Comprende? Okay. I mean it. There we go. I keep shaking. You want me to make fun of Martin? But I can't, though. I can't, though. You know why? Because I'll tell you what I want, but I really, really want. Okay, I'm not going to sing Spice Girls, but you get the point. Alrighty. So now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to now start to do a little bit of the gray. And we're going to have a little bit of tones of gray in here. We're going to have some blue. So that's what I forgot. So I have to actually get some blue paint. I'm just going to use this really nice ice blue paint, which is, okay, this is pale blue. So we're going to lighten it up a little bit more. Yeah, okay. I'll definitely check that out, Chris. Definitely. So now I'm just going to go in a little bit. Because like I said, this piece is definitely going to have like a lot of details into it. And just I'm slowly starting to work up the details just a little bit. These are supposed to like resemble like ice spikes pretty much. I know you can't see it, so I'm trying to make sure that you guys can see it at the same time. I know, I'm horrible when it comes to like lighting and all that stuff. There we go. I'm hoping this works. Eventually, like, and then I'll do like an overview of everything because I think that would be also great too, so you guys can see as well. I just have to keep that in mind that I do have to like understand that whenever I move this, I have to kind of move it back in the lighting too. What the heck, Harrison? Why are you being bad, Harrison? Here we go. Let's see. Uh-huh. I see you being bad boy. There we go. Alrighty, so I'm just going to do a little bit because I also have to do like the dark details of gray, like right underneath of the lumps of clay, which I'm going to start doing now. So I'm just going to add a little bit more dark silver to it just to play around with the colors. There we go, like so. There we go. Shut up, Mommy. What am I doing, Harrison? What am I doing? Be nice. Be good boy. Because you're being bad. You know what happens with bad kids? They get eaten by the snowman. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. There we go. So I'm just kind of going with the flow a little bit. So I'm dragging a little bit of paint. And as you can see, I'm kind of like brushing it against like the details that I made. So this way I can kind of get that texture still and it kind of looks more realistic. No, let Ray be good. Oh, seriously, Chris? Oh, I meant to ask you, Chris, how was your Christmas? Okay, I'm just going to paint dark. There we go. It was good. Jamie, that's his friend Ray. The one that's in the chat that's called Joe's. His name's Ray. Okay. So I'm just very carefully going to do this. Again, I have to be very careful because I don't want to add too much to make it kind of like stand out because I don't want it to stand out with so much like details and harsh edges at the same time. I want it to be a little bit natural because keep in mind, it's snow. So you do have some dark edges here and there of green or gray, gray, but also I want to make it scary in ways. That is, yeah, so right there, Jamie. Yeah, it's okay. It's okay, definitely. I don't mind that. The whole point is you don't have to like always stay here, you guys. I mean, I do appreciate it, but you guys can do your own thing as well, too. I mean, that's the whole point. Like, if you're streaming, hanging out, doing whatever, I mean, hey. I appreciate you guys being here. That's pretty much what goes on. Oh, seriously? Huh. I can't do it. No, you just want freaking Ray to pick on me. Get the hell out of here. How dare you? I'm kidding. And is that a game that you play often or what, Chris? Hey, Smiley, welcome to the stream. How are you doing? Okay, let me see. Let me see if I can try to switch this view a little bit so you guys can actually see. There, is that better? Oh, sorry. There. Is that a lot better? Can you guys see? Well, you guys can't see really the shading details, but let me just turn off the light. It's gonna get dark, but you can see the shading right here underneath. I can't really see because it's only the one lighting shading, but the second one I can work with. So is that better, you guys? Can you guys see it now? Is it a lot better? My Christmas was good. I got to hang out with the peeps. I hanged out with Jamie, and we had a blast. Then I got to actually try out my new watercolors, and I created Christmas cards for the family. So it turned out great. Like, my mom didn't even know that I made the cards, actually. She's just like, oh, these are really nice cards. Where did you get it? I was like, I made them. And she's like, what? And I was like, yeah. And she's like, oh my God. And yeah, that was, yeah. So that was kind of an interesting story to tell her, that I literally spent a couple of hours painting and drawing those cards for her. And she's like, good, so now you get to do that all the time. I'm like, no, just no. Downloaded it way out? There we go. Oh, I'm so proud of myself. I'm like loving this piece. Like, oh my goodness. Then just adding the moss to it is just going to make it really stand out even more. So I'm just loving this. Oh, nice. And what game is that? By the way, if you don't mind me asking, Ross or Smiley, if you want to answer. Well, thank you, Smiley. I appreciate it. Thank you. I appreciate it. There we go. Just come at the bottom here. Start adding a little more details. Just make me think like Lord of the Rings right now. That's what I'm thinking about. Lord of the Rings. Can't help it. There we go. Now I'm very carefully, I'm just kind of like brushing up a little bit to kind of like drown out the color a little bit, like the harshness, a way out. Oh, really? Nice. Yeah, that's gonna be awesome. I heard about that game. That's with like the 2-player game, right? With the 2 guys that escape prison. Yeah, I heard about that game. Alright, so I'm just going to take this. Now I'm going to apply a little bit of water to dilute the color just a bit. Then I'm going to go in very fast just to rub off a little bit of the details. Because keep in mind, his face is supposed to be a little bit white. So I'm trying to be careful a little bit here and there. Yeah, I definitely don't have the experience for that game. If it's a button smashing game, yeah, don't play with me, I can tell you that. Okay. There you go. Now I'm just going to go over here and start painting a little bit of the skull. Start cleaning that up just a bit. Alright, now I'm just going to add a little water. Just go in. There we go. Just so I can start getting those details in there. There we go. Much better. Then I'm just going to go in a little bit. Just kind of do like the outer corners. Just to kind of bring in that shadow look of the skull. And this was created when I did do a kind of like a sculpture. And I loved it so much that I made a mold out of it, and then I used resin, which I'll show here, which is 2-part resin, which is part A and part B, and yeah, and then it cured, and I had nothing to use the pieces for until now. So it's great because I get to use stuff that I also created a long time ago to create this sculpture. So I absolutely loved it. So let's see, it's a fun game / experience. What otaku? You said something about Blood Harrison, my guy. It looks really, really good. Well, thank you so much. Like I said, it's definitely going to take a long time because I want to add a little bit of detail, shading, like just the right amount of here and there. So again, this is probably going to take me a long time, and then I'm going to actually start adding the moss. Now over here is going to be like green moss, and then adding more and more details here and there, here and there. So it's, yeah, it's definitely going to be hectic, but I'm going to love it. The more time that I take, the better that it's going to look, and it's just going to be so amazing. And I know that there's going to be like a lot of dark colors incorporated in here too. So I think the blue is definitely going to lighten it up just a bit. So I like it, idea. Just a little bit of blues and silvers incorporated into this. Because they're trying to like imitate like ice too. Because I was going to paint these like spikes of twigs. But I just wanted like some type of ice. That's what I wanted to do. And thank you, Wookie. In doing so, like, I wanted to imitate spikes, but also ice too, but I didn't want to go full details because sometimes spikes are sometimes the same or sometimes uneven or sometimes they're spiky too. So I just wanted to have fun with it, and whatever spoke to me, spoke to me. So that's pretty much what happened. And that's how I got these, pretty much. So I'm not too worried about it. But I am going to add like grays and blues and all that. It's to resemble ice, in other words. I know you guys can't really see it because I keep like switching it back and forth, back and forth. I'm trying on that. Let me see. Because I keep like wanting to bring it closer to me because I have that habit. And I just, ugh. There we go. So if I bring it closer to me. There. Can you guys still see it though? That's... Oh God. Okay. I think yeah. So you guys can kind of see it right now, right? It's a little bit better. I'm just gonna like keep on readjusting and readjusting so you guys get like an actual good view of this because I want you to get that view. There we go. It's definitely going to look better once I take a photo of it. So, I mean, it's definitely going to look a hell of a lot better once I do. Because then you guys can actually see it instead of be like, what the heck? Just don't judge. Alrighty. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to start to work on a little bit of the back area again. Because keep in mind, I'm trying to like build up the color. Then I gotta put the green, and the green is where I'm gonna put the moss at. And I'm going to start putting the moss in places, so this way I can start to paint too, and kind of like avoid the mossy areas. There we go. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start adding the moss. So this is definitely going to take a little bit, but I'm using this kind of like green moss that has like a ground kind of like texture like dirt. And I got this at the dollar store. So the reason why I wanted to incorporate it was because it made it more realistic. So I do have to kind of like play around with it. And I'm just going to use some super glue. And I have to be very, very careful because it's going to stick to my hands. And I remember last time it stuck hell to my hands and it was a pain in the ass to clean after. So, and since I'm going to be sculpting the ammo later on, I have to be careful. So I'm just going to wear my gloves to protect my hands. There we go. Alright. So I'm just going to use a little bit of this. Oh my god. There we go. And that's one thing that I like about this, is that it kind of like looks natural in ways. And then I'm just going to use this green right here. And then I'm going to use a little bit of black just to dilute the color. And we're going to use a little bit of brown too, a light brown, just to resemble dirt. And we're going to blend that in together too as we start to add the pieces together little by little. Hey, AKA, welcome to the stream. How are you doing? How was your Christmas? Aw, see you, Harrison. Good night. Sleep well, Harrison. Stay. Just gonna incorporate lots and lots of glue. I like using the Gorilla Glue. Now, a lot of people work with sculpture. Sometimes they use E6000, but I find that E6000 does not work. And it always just like, kind of like falls off, especially with a lot of details like this. So I like using Gorilla Glue because I stand by it and I absolutely love it. Now, you just have to play around with a little bit of the twigs, a little here and there, and then once it does dry, it does give it a strong, firm feeling. And then you could just easily take a brush and kind of clean up the mess after. So, that's what I like. Alright, so I'm just going to move this. Ooh, that stinks. There. Oof. That definitely stinks. I'm just going to spin this around. There we go. This is the back part that we want. Because I wanted to like wrap that around, that big chunk, just to make it just, oh. Yeah. I think this is like the best part because if I had glue, it'd be so much easier, but I don't. So we're using super glue. It's also great too because I get to actually kind of like breathe a little bit and know that my pieces are going to be sticking. There we go. It is messy. Keep this in mind. Stuff like this can get messy, but you know what? The more mess it is, the funner it feels. Like, ugh. I wanted to create kind of like that earthy vibe to it. And it's starting to look so awesome. Alright. So now I just have a little bit of patches right here. And I'm just going to like take a little bit here and there. Okay, that's too big. Then cut it down to size, but I like to tear it because it gives it more of a natural feel to it. I'm just going to flip this. Okay. There we go. Okay, now we're not going to overcrowd it too much. But yes, we're going to leave it like that. Just a little bit, not so much. Because keep in mind too, we still have a lot of details to go. And I don't want it to be like very overpowering of like a lot of naturey green shaganikis around it. But now what I'm going to do is I'm going to start going in a little bit and start making the rocks. And we're just going to start to paint on some of the details of the rocks now. Yeah, no problem, Harrison. See you later. Thank you guys for being here. It really means a lot to me. And I hope you guys are enjoying this stream right now. Okay, now I can start adding a little bits of black just to make it darker, just a bit, like so. There we go. I'm just going to make this a little bit darker because now I can start adding a little bit of the highlights to it. Even more. And kind of work it in, just little by little. Like so. So the whole point is that you don't see like the skull. Because that's what I don't want. I don't want you to see like the skull so much. I want it to be like covered. So I'm gonna have to like, there we go, get rid of the loosey bits. There. Now I'm just painting in the rocks too, because I want it to be like there, but not too much there, if that makes sense. Probably doesn't, but we'll get there. Okay, now I'm going to take that blue. Oh my god, you saw hair! Oh my goodness! Just want to clean that up just a bit. There we go. Now just add a little more darker gray to it. There you go. Alrighty, now I'm just going to take the leftover because we're done with the moss now. So I can kind of put that away. Even though the moss is like everywhere, but hey, that's okay. So now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to spin it around and we're just going to take a look and see how that's turning out. Alrighty, so that's looking very nice. Alright, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to eventually start to work on the tree branch right here. And then I'm just going to start to kind of like add some shadows here and there, like just to brighten it up just a bit. Then I'm just going to start to paint it like a nice brown. There we go. Then I'm just going to start painting on the details and then we're going to wait till that dries. And then I'm going to start adding even more details onto it. Okay, I'm just going to use black and brown and I'm going to make like a darker kind of like sea-doo brown. It's kind of like a dark chocolate, so picture that. Then I'm going to make it look like the branches are literally embedded into his arm. Just a little bit. Like so. So I'm trying to make sure that the darker areas are painted like darker colors where you don't see the light. So it's like dark colors, and then the lighter colors you do see like kind of like it's supposed to be lighter, and then the in-between color that blends them together pretty much. I know, it sucks that you guys can't see like the painting, like the actual color itself because of the way the camera is, but you guys would love it if you guys were able to see it fully. I'm just trying to look at a nice small brush that I want to use because I'm going to start painting a little bit of the nose. Now with the nose, since this is a really bright orange, I'm going to try to dilute the color a little bit by adding a little bit of brown. Because we don't want it to be like a blinding carrot color. We want it to be like a soft color. Still making it look like an orange color. There we go. Hey Ash, how are you? Welcome back to the stream. What? Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you so much, Ash. There. I'm just like trying to make sure that I do this properly because I'm just like, yes. Yeah, you see my hair color, so don't mind me. That sexy shiny brown hair. There we go. Well, thank you. I appreciate it. Well, all sculptures are different. It depends on, like, the actual person itself. Like, for me, I take pride in my work in the sense of trying to find every detail. So I actually I actually pay close attention to details, and that's, like, really my thing. And some people too. Or some people like to kind of, like, focus more on facial features or like the action, the poses themselves, the highlights. I like to pay attention to details, and it also helps me to kind of relax and look at the piece even more and kind of like take pride in my work. But I'll take that as a compliment, though. I really appreciate it. But yeah, everyone is different when it comes to sculptors. Yeah. So, and sometimes, like, let's hypothetically, sometimes if the sculptor is actually going to be making it into a mold, too, sometimes they don't work on details. So, like, for example, say if you're buying, like, you know, those figurines in stores that have, like, Flash or Superman and whatnot, or Iron Man. You can't really do so much details because you create a mold. And a mold is basically something that when you're going to be making multiple of. So think of it like that. So the more details you add in the mold, the more complicated it can get. And you have to worry about air bubbles and all that stuff. And since companies care about more about the quantity instead of the quality of it, that's why there's hardly any figurines now that are very detailed. Is because they have to pay the sculptor. But on top of that, too, they have to make sure that the mold itself would actually get most of the details. And they'll have to worry if, like, the actual detail from the figurine looks a little wonky and all that stuff, meaning more work, more time, more labor, all that stuff. And they have to pay the people for more of their time. So they try to, like, kind of counter out the cost. So, I mean, it's pretty pathetic, but that's what happens. That's why I don't really buy figurines in the store, because it's like, why do that when I can just buy my own? Or, well, buy my own, make my own. Pretty much. So, that's just me, though. I'm not an expert. It's stuff that I picked up over the years, too, because here are the stages. So, for example, I'm going to show you an example of molds. But it's not what you think. So the clay that I use to sculpt this is like Sculpey clay and all that. So this stuff right here, like, it's a beige color. And what happens is when you meet artists that are from big major companies that are, like, you know, for Capcom, when they're making the Resident Evil figurines, what they do is they take an artist that's similar like me that does the sculpting, and they do it so much where there's not that much detail like this. But after when they're done, the sculptor, they use monster clay. So this way they can reuse the clay. Monster clay is a clay that you can't bake. But what you can do is you can add heat to it. It melts. And once it dries, like air dries, it starts to get harder and harder. But when you apply more heat to it, it basically becomes workable again. So what they do is they create a sculpture out of that. They use the clay, and then what they do is they create a mold, a 2-piece mold. And I'm going to show you what a mold looks like. So this way you can kind of understand it, kind of not. Let's see. Okay, so think of a 2-piece mold. So this is a mold right here. So see how rubbery it is? So think of a 2-piece mold looking like this. So it has an A and a B slot for the details. Once they take the figurine, they put it in there, they add a mold, like usually epoxy mold and all that. So they created their mold. They take it out, and here you have this imprint of an image. Then they take like something like epoxy resin, and they put it into the mold. And this is part A and part B. Once they did that and it cures, then they pop it out, and they move it to basically painters, like airbrushers. So here you have this blank, whatever color it is. So this will dry white, but they have like beige, creams, grays, whatever the case is. So they'll take that piece of this sculpture, or whichever sculpture that they have, and what they do is they have the airbrushers, they brush on the details, they paint it little by little. And then they have an inspector that looks around a little bit, but they don't sand it down. They don't do any of that stuff. So what happens is when you look at a sculpture, you'll see that there's bits and pieces of residue and how bubbles form and all that. So that's the only bad thing about that, because you are literally getting multiple pieces of a artist's sculpture, and the artist itself doesn't even get paid that much. So here they're charging figurines like the Resident Evil figurines for like $300 and something odd dollars, where the artist hypothetically was charged like $25,000 or more. So grant you, if you're like basically spending $300 on an actual Resident Evil figurine or so on and so forth, times that by however they made, there you go. So you can see that the artist gets scammed right there. But it's word by mouth, you're getting a job and all that stuff. So at the same time, I mean, hey, why not? But that's why I appreciate like artists that sit there and, yeah. Well, learning so much, once you become a self-taught artist, you start to kind of like appreciate artists' work. And that's what I love about figurines and sculptors, because there are people that use anatomy for sculptors. So people that can draw or basically create human sculptures. Lucky for me, I can draw, but I just can't draw humans. I can't draw just at my image because I can't do 3D drawings. Like I can't visualize a 3D anatomy. That's why I'm teaching myself to. So when I do sculptures, I can do that illusion. But as you can see, I'm good at sculptures, but I'm not really that good at drawing. So I use references. So I can draw a reference drawing, but when it comes to my own ideas, I can't do that because my mind goes blank. That's the thing. But I can add touches here and there and all that stuff and just create my own eventually. But I need a reference to draw like a face and to kind of portion out the bodies. That's basically it. That's why I got a couple of books where I can literally teach myself how to draw proportions, body animations, all that stuff. So this way I can kind of actually draw, because they say that sculptors kind of can't draw, but I'm going to prove them wrong. Because that's just how I am. I like teaching myself because we're always learning. And that's what makes me happy, because I get to sit back and kind of exercise my mind into learning a new art medium or just having fun with things that I love. I don't know how this was, like, I don't know how I had this talent. My family, my mom's side, actually, she found out that they own a pottery. So maybe that's where I get the sculpting from. I don't know. But most of my mom's side was actually artists. So that's what I find very interesting. My mom didn't know that. Like architectural designers and graphic designer, interior designers. I'm a graphic designer. So, but it's just weird because I find more passion in art than actually designing itself. It's pretty stupid. Why go to school when you're not going to use it? That's pretty stupid, but yeah. But it did help me learn of what I love the best. And I do love art. So I'm pretty happy about it. And it's actually an accomplishment too. It's like, hey, yeah, I'm a graphic designer, but I'm also a sculptor and I'm a multitasker. So yeah, hire me, bitches. I know, I talk too much. I get it. I'm sorry. You're just like, oh my god, shut up and just paint, okay? Alrighty, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to paint this boot brown because I don't have to worry about it. This is supposed to resemble like a little foot of a child, but it's not going to be like so much details because it's not important, pretty much. It's just there to resemble that this Frosty the Snowman actually eats humans. I like fruit. You know what? I like candy. But I'm actually surprised you were listening to me rant on about everything. Well, thank you so much, Ash. I appreciate it. And the main reason why I love doing it is because, believe it or not, I started my channel so I can actually inspire other artists or other people to try art. Because, well, when I was growing up, I had an art teacher in high school that was just a complete, yeah. And she made me hate art. And I think that's what happened was I stopped. So right then and there, I stopped practicing art. I didn't care for it. And I wanted to start off, like I wanted to be an art teacher, but art teachers over here are literally just glorified babysitters. You have a certain curriculum to study, and it's like wellness you're studying. And I didn't like that. I wanted to teach art to people and let them bring back that inspiration of why they started to love art in the first place, whether it's painting, drawing, building, writing poetry, anything is classified as art, even if it's just taking an object and painting it to refurbish it. That's still art. That's your stuff. Like, you cannot grade art because art is literally a feeling, an expression that you just come up with. Like, it's literally your thoughts, your emotions into this piece. And that's the one thing that I could not do is grade art. I can't. Like, seriously, if I was like a teacher, I would grade everyone an F. Why? Because it's like, why should I give grades for that? Seriously. You can't really grade anything. Like, you can't grade art. Unless if you're teaching a specific curriculum. But then at the same time, like, my teacher was like, oh, well, I have a bachelor's degree. Yeah, good for you. You want me to basically respect you for that? Good. Cool. Okay, but you lack the spirit. You lack the heart in art. And you get mad at me because I'm finishing art, or I'm finishing sculptures, or I'm drawing really fast. And that's the one thing that she didn't like me. And then I started to make catalogs, and, well, I actually did, for a Bulimic Association, a calendar. One of my artworks made the calendar. And my teacher hated me. And I was like, okay. So that's what happened, and I just started to hate art because of her. So I just didn't want other people to go through that, I guess. On top of the fridge.
Is that my extension cord? Or upstairs?
Sorry.
Is this the one from upstairs?
I didn't grab it. Mom did. So I don't know.
What would she grab it for?
Homemade clothing line.
What?
Hang on, guys. Sorry, I gotta put it on mute. Alright, hey guys. I'm back. Sorry about that. I keep on listening to the same song over and over again, and I just realized I'm just like, what the fudge? There we go. When I made a monster with clay, it looked ugly. Hey. I'm pretty sure it didn't, so don't get discouraged. Practice. Like, if you keep practicing and everything, like, you should have saw my very first pieces. They were just horrible. And then I started practicing, and then I started to teach myself. Like, the only thing is that when I started to, how do I put this? Started to watch other people and listen to what other people were telling me, and like, oh, you should do this. I'm like, okay. I didn't learn that way. I guess the reason why is because it wasn't for me. And then I started to, just sculpt and learn for myself. And I remember this one person who is basically teaching at the university. And he came to my trade show, and he was just like, oh my gosh, this is perfect circle. Like, do you use molds? I'm like, no, I could just roll them with my hands. How do you get a perfect circle? By applying certain amount of pressure. That's what happens. If you apply too much pressure, what happens is that you squish it in between your hands. So it's all about pressure and the way that you form your hands, and you have to take your time. And he was just so amazed because he was like, you should come to my thing because I teach art. And I'm just like, yeah, I know. And he's like, so what kind of art school do you go to? And I was like, none. What? Yeah. And I guess just like the fact that sometimes people are just shocked that you don't, I guess, go to an art school to learn. I know many people do to enhance it. But let's be honest, too. Some people don't go to art school because it's not worth the money. Because you get people, like teachers, telling you, like, ways that you have to do it. No, that's inappropriate. That's wrong. This is this. No, you got to do it this way. It's all wrong. It's like, no. Like, you're the artist. Do it your freaking self. Have fun. Teach yourself in a way that you like to. See, I don't think it's hard, but that's just me, though. But when drawing, I mean, yeah, it is hard, but sometimes I do it, sometimes I don't. So that's like sometimes. But when it comes to polymer clay, I mean, I can do a perfect circle. But all I'm saying is, like, you don't really need art school to teach yourself to do better. I mean, it's there if you want to expand your knowledge, but it's not... Hardly any artists go to an art school because, you know what? Sometimes you don't learn anything from there. Let's be honest. I didn't learn that much in graphic design because, like, the way that my school was, like, my teacher was very limited, and he could only teach us some stuff. It's because the school was too cheap. They wanted to save the money. So that's what happened. Like, we had to go and get our stuff printed out ourselves. We had to basically buy our own products. So when I got a student aid for when I was in school, like college, what happened was it all went on to, like, buying supplies for class and doing printouts and buying everything because they didn't provide that. Like, they were supposed to, but they didn't. Then I had to buy a computer because when I started to do coding, my computer wasn't working, and it was just horrible. So there was that. Okay. I am loving how this is turning out. I want to keep with like dark, dewy colors because it just makes it look realistic. There we go. I have to be very careful now. The red is definitely going to have to like be a couple of colors here and there. I don't know. I wanted to do like some ribbon. I know, it's weird. I wanted to do like ribbon wrapped around him. It looks scary. Well, yeah, it's supposed to look scary. It's not supposed to look friendly. Like, it's a killer Frosty the Snowman. It's gonna murder you. It's gonna kill you. That's what happens. Oh, well, I'm sorry if you're gonna have nightmares. I'll get you a teddy bear so you can cuddle. How about that? You can cuddle with the teddy bear. Or we can call Dr. Phil and then we can give you like a little doll that says, "Tell me, where did the snowman touch you?" There we go. Oh, I'm loving this. Eh. Exactly. Stop using your quote to talk. No, I'm kidding. You can use it. There you go. I think I'm loving this a little bit too much because I'm like sitting here and I'm just like, yay, putting so much pride and joy into this. Just like, yes, this is my baby right here. Your mother is creating you. Okay, I want to make sure that that is movable. Alright. I'm just going to take off my gloves for right now. Pretty much. There we go. Yeah, so I don't have to work with my gloves right now, but when I start to work with chemicals, then yeah. You will stop yourself. Eek! I'm hoping I seriously am not scaring you because the way that this one is. So I'm sorry if I am. There you go. Now this is definitely going to take a lot of color to paint. Like red for some reason with paint is just like, ugh, you have to sit there with so many layers. And I'm just like, ugh. There we go. There we go. There. Now I just have to wait until it dries. Now I'm going to give it kind of like a blue, I'm thinking about a darky blue, but I'm not quite sure. Eee! Oh my god. There we go. Because we got to paint the actual sweater part. There we go. Perfect. Let's see. Making that sculpture could have cost me $600. Well, for the clay and then just actually using it, I think this sculpture cost me at least almost about $400, and then I'll be adding this stuff to it. But I did use a lot of good quality clay for it, and I used at least about 3 pounds of clay for it. Then buying the base, the armature, and then the paint and all that. Because you also have to count your materials. if I were to sell this, I mean, it would be like at least about 300, 400. And it's an original, so yeah. There we go. I mean, no point intended, just saying. The only thing is that now these days, like, things you can easily get at, like, in China. So that's why people are just, like, if it's, like, literally, how do I put this? An actual freaking sculpture from something like BioShock or Resident Evil or something, people will spend, like, $400 or $500 for it if it's limited edition. But for, like, actually artists, I don't think so. Well, thank you. I mean, there are improvements that I can work on, but this is by far one of the best sculptures that I have done, to be honest. I love how, oh my god, I'm getting, like, paint everywhere. Like, see, my area is, like, full of paint and just, like, ugh, just everything's all over. There we go. There we go. Perfect. So I'm just going to clean that up a bit. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to start actually creating the blood now. Now I'm going to use some puffy paint, and what this is usually it's used for fabric, and I'm just going to add the blood red paint that we created. I'm just going to add a little bit of black to it, and I'm just going to incorporate it with the red paint that we made. The reason why for this is because I'm going to start to actually dab onto the blood a little bit. But keep in mind too is that I don't want it to be like too much, because this is like a dark color. So I just want it to like, I want it to resemble a little bit of blood, but then it's like, wait, what the hell is that? Oh my gosh. It's like they contacted me. We would like to make a killer movie with you. Oh my gosh, yes. Yes. Why do you think it's so scary? Yeah, pretty much. That's pretty much like always like the thing. Like an artist is never clean. It's never clean. Unless if you're like the type of artist that has like a lot of stuff. That's why like when you see a lot of people do like room tours and shit, it's like, beach, you can't tell me that your room is clean like this all the goddamn time. So don't even. Well, yeah. This is a killer snowman. Uh, 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 uh. Like, oh my god, my hand is like all gooey and red. Let me just show this comment because I think Game Slayer fell asleep. There we go. I think Jamie fell asleep too, so I don't have any mods here right now, so. Let's see. Oh no, don't eat me, evil snowman. Hey, he is an awesome snowman. Okay, so don't even give me that. Pipe down. He's an awesome snowman. Pretty much. Maybe that's why he became evil, and now he wants to kill every child, because he's like, no, there can only be one snowman. No, my parents tried to make another, and I murdered them. So probably. If it was real, oh my gosh. I mean, hey, I would actually like it if it was real. There we go. And then I have to turn it around. All these squares make a circle. They sure do. Okay, now I'm just going to make sure that I add red right here. We need Donald Trump to build a wall for Christmas. Why? Because of the snowman? Okay, so I'm going to make sure that this puffy paint... Now, the thing that I like about this puffy paint is we can actually puffin out this blood. And you're going to see what I mean by that. I freaking love puffy paint. So what I'm doing right here is I'm kind of making the blood like ooze out. So you guys can kind of see what I'm doing right here. Because this is supposed to be like the foot. And I'm just going to dab a little bit of blood on the branches. Oh, yes. Oh, gosh. I'll see. Yeah, I will. I mean, I watched Dragon Ball Z, but, yeah. There we go. $100 Home Depot. Well, that's the thing about this guy. Is that this snowman you can actually kill. But unfortunately, too, is that if he consumes anything, one bite, one whatever the case is, he actually regenerates, too. So when he regenerates, he can actually become stronger and stronger and stronger. So that's the only difference about him. Oh, shit. I like how I'm, like, dipping my paintbrushes into my clean paintbrushes, and I'm just, like, sitting there, like, dab, 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 and I'm like, shit. Screwed that one up. Then I'm going to have to paint on the pants. There we go. Cookie! That is not like Jack Frost. This is a killer snowman. Unless if Jack Frost literally killed people. There you go. Now I'm just gonna move this. I have a joke. What does Friday eat for lunch? Frosty eat for lunch? Iceburgers? No, that's cute. Alright. So finally, the best part is removing the clay from here. Now what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to like kind of paint in that silvery kind of... There we go. Yeah. Okay. Then I'm going to have to add that black in again. See, I like using my like tile because I don't have to use like plates or anything and then waste the paint and waste a lot of trees in the process. Hashtag trees matter. Anyways. So let's see. I'm using a spirit bomb, bitch. So this is Jack Frost I'm talking about. It was a horror movie. No, oh, I didn't know about that. See, there's a Jack Frost where his dad died and he was like a musician or something. There's that one. But I haven't seen the Jack Frost. I'm going to have to take a look at that then. Because I just wanted to do like something scary. There we go. Alright. So now, we're going to have to add more of the details. And what I mean by that is, oof, I got like bread all over me. Want to build a snowman? And she just looks at you, waiting for you to anxiously say yes. And you're like, okay. You're like, meet my friend! Then you're just like, do you want to build a snowman? She just sits in the shadow and she sings that. Oh god, that's creepy. I think I'm scared now. Like, that would scare the shit out of me. It's like, no, I don't want to build a snowman. Get fucking away. No. I just hope Nick likes it. Because Nick is, like, his whole thing is, like, Nick's Stay Cool Frosty, like, from, you know, Black Ops. So. Because he wanted me to do a snowman. But then I was like, screw this. If I'm going to do a snowman, then I'm going to make him badass. It's going to be horrifying. Alright. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to let it dry a little bit. As we do that, I'm just going to clean up a little bit of this paint. I should have a, like, please stand by. And then we have, like, some awesome music going. Should have that music right now. Because what we're going to do now is we're going to start to add a little more of the details, like the actual like ice, dirt, and we're going to use some resin. So this is going to be a big piece, like I said. See, I don't like, the tile, damn it. There we go. This is why you don't wear good paints, and especially when you're an artist, or like wear, yeah, like actual good shirts. Because there's no way that you're going to end up looking like a spotless gem wearing Gucci. It was so funny because I was paying attention on Facebook. And there's like these artists, because I'm in like an artist group. And here you see a girl trying to paint, right? So the picture is like already done, and she's taking this brush, no paint on it or anything else, and she's wearing fucking Gucci. I'm like, yeah, you go and paint with fucking Gucci? Bitch, you cray. That's what I wrote. And everyone laughed their ass off because it's true. Like, who in the right mind literally wears like Gucci shit and fucking pants? And like they're white pants, and she's painting using dark colors. But the thing is, there's no paint on her paintbrush. She's just sitting there like, ah. And like a seductive kind of like ass picture look. And it's like, all right, girl. Clickbait. So I'm just like, okay. Yep. Obviously I'm doing it wrong. You look at me and you have like paint all over the place. Like, I'll probably like, okay. I'm going to be honest. On Christmas Eve, I went to the dollar store. And I had paint on my face and I didn't know. And it was blue. And I had blue all over my face. And I didn't know. And a little bit in my hair. So I was like... It was pretty bad because I'm just like walking around. And people were staring at me. And I was like, why? And then I looked and I was like, oh God. Now I know why. Aw. Well, it's okay. It's okay. But believe it or not, you can come by and, you know, or... You know, when you have to come back, then feel free. You can always rewatch the stream, too. Yeah, it's okay. Like I said, thank you for staying here, Ash. I appreciate it. And, you know, you could always, like, watch it at the end, or you can join the stream if you like. Well, not the stream, but you can actually join my channel and hang out there if you like, too. And you can see the finishing touches. Yeah, definitely. Well, I'll see you, and thank you so much for stopping by. I appreciate it. Hey, Scorpio! Okay. So the one thing about this now is we got to be very, very careful. Because we're going to be working with resin, so which means that we have to do gloves. So, like I said, I'm just going to clean this up, too. See ya! I appreciate it. Thank you again for stopping by the stream and supporting me. I appreciate it. Alright. So now it's actually clean. Yay! Clean! We like cleanness. Somewhat. Alrighty, so I'm going to take a small little wrapping paper, kind of, and we're just going to take that. So this way I can kind of like grab it. We're going to paint the base after, but this is very important now. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to start working on the resin. So the resin is part A and part B. So I'm just going to take my gloves. Thank you. I appreciate it. Alrighty. So what I'm going to do now is you guys are going to see we are going to add sand. And the sand is going to be the most important part because this is supposed to give it a realistic feeling to it. So here I actually have white sand. I did have some black sand, but I don't know. Did I grab it? I'm hoping I grabbed it. Let me just get off my booty. Okay, I didn't grab it, of course. Alright, so I have some black sand here, too. So I like using sand to enhance some of my work, to kind of give it that gritty feeling. Yes, I'm going to take my gloves. Yeah, 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 yeah. How do you like that? How do you like them apples? Alright. So this is stuff that you got to be careful of. This is like stuff that you don't want to mess around with, especially when you're working with like plain hands. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a tool that I'm not going to be using anymore. You know what? I'm going to use this tool because I can actually blend it out. All right. So this is a 2-part resin, epoxy resin. Now usually you have measuring cups, but ain't nobody got time for that. So like I said, you got to be careful. There's a lot of people that use mixing gloves. You can add it all over your paintings. You can add it all over here. We do it with crafts. And here's some reading shit that we don't care about. Yes, that's why safety is our #1 priority. Not really, but you get the point. So I'm going to use the cap. So this is the part B. And it's poisonous, so we have to be very careful. And I'm only doing little by little. And then we're going to add part A. Childproof. Nikki's not good at that shit. Oh my god! Okay. There you go. So once we actually add that, we got to start mixing. There we go. Now I'm just going to clean this up so this way I don't die. I'm kidding. There we go. Alright, so now we start mixing. And I don't care so much about bubbles, to be honest. I really don't. Exactly, right? There we go. And I can add paint to this if I want to color it. So, yeah, bubbles, I mean, bubbles, like bubbles. But we're going to be adding sand, so, I mean, it doesn't really matter in that sense. And I'm just going to add a little by little. So. Yeah, so we're going to add a little bit of black sand. And then I have to kind of chop off a little piece because we're going to be using white after too. So, I thought I had my scissors, but I guess not. Because apparently, I don't work well with scissors. Okay. So, when in doubt, use a hole puncher. There. There! Hole puncher! Yeah! Alright, so now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to mix a little bit of here and there. What the hell was that? Oh, that's a black heart. I was like, what the hell's on my screen? Oh my god, that's bad. And once it dries, it's gonna be like really all hardened and stuff, so I don't have to worry about that. Then we're gonna have some white over here, and it's gonna make it look like an Oreo. That's great. Oreo ice cream, anyone? And this is just to make it kind of like the grainy texture. The reason why is because it's supposed to be like snow. There we go. So I know you guys can't tell, but small details like this does matter in ways. Hard. Exactly. Hard. Very, very hard. There we go. Now I'm just going to put the black sand right here. There you go. Then I'm just going to kind of mix it up a bit. There we go. That's why I created that little border that we kind of need. Here we go. Oh, ice cream. Yes, please, my favorite. Looks like what? Glycerin? Well, yeah. That's the reason why I wanted to do it, because it's like, once it starts to harden and all that stuff, then it's like fully detailed, and it's like, what the fuck? And I wanted to incorporate a lot of details to this piece because, like I said, details are very important. Like, small details. And no snow is perfect. This is not supposed to be perfect. This is supposed to be, like, literally, like, dirt is going to be all over the snow, like, gravel, everything. And that's what this is. And since resin is going to be, like, dry and cure and all that stuff, it's going to be, like, very, very shiny, like a gloss. So it's going to kind of give it that oomph that I really wanted to add to the piece, just to make it really shiny. I know you guys can't really see it right now, but trust me. And then I'm going to paint the actual plates black. But I was thinking about like white, but I really want to go with black because black is just an awesome color to do it with. Then we're just going to incorporate some details here and there. There we go. Let's see. Looks okay. I read that. I was like, okay, you said the same thing, but I read it, so I don't have to worry. There we go. Then I'm gonna incorporate some on his mouth because it's gonna dry clear. And I'm going to try to resemble, like, drool. I know it's kind of weird, but I'm always picturing him, like, drooling like a snowman. Like he's drooling. Okay, that works. This is actually kind of, okay, natural. There we go. I know, it's really weird. But it's getting done. It's getting done. There we go. Just kind of scoop that up just a bit over here. Now we're going to add a little bit of black over here. Just kind of add that texture in the back area because we don't want to waste this resin. Want to make sure that everything is covered with detail. There we go. Okay. Oh, shit. There we go. There we go. Now I'm just going to mix this. There you go. I'm just going to take it and kind of like put it right near that skull. Kind of like right in here. There we go. Yes, nice. Mix it up just a bit. Okay, now I'm just going to turn this just a bit. Oh, shit. Because I forgot I had puffy paint in the back, damn it. Okay, that's okay. That's okay. There we go. Just want to make sure I touched it a little bit, but that's okay. I'll clean it off in a second. There we go. And there we go. And I'm just going to add a little bit here and there. There we go. There we go. Alright. So now I'm just going to throw this away because I'm practically done with the resin. Just go wash my... There we go. I'm going to wash my skin because I kind of touched the resin a little bit. Yes, I will. Alright. That's not at me. You know that. That was at the sand that I was doing, Jamie. Don't worry. Alright. So now that I added the black sand, what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to clean this up a bit. And then I'm going to kind of show you guys, because I can only do so much right now, but the details that I have, yeah. I just got to paint on a little bit of the snowman, just a little bit once it's done drying, and then I have to paint on the present and in the back. But other than that, yeah, that is pretty much it. And the killer Frosty the Snowman looks badass. Pretty much looks badass. So I'm loving it. I love how it turned out. I'm actually quite pleased with myself. And yeah, so this is what it looks like. And I'll take a picture when it's fully dry. And all I have to do is just to paint on the present. But I have to wait until this color is kind of like completely dry. Oh, okay. So yeah. But yeah, that's pretty much about it. And other than that, I really hope you guys enjoyed this small stream. So Nick, yeah, all I have to do is just paint after when the resin, the resin is dry, just the black base, and paint on this bad boy. And then I got to do the glossy glaze, and there we go. And it's practically done. So thank you guys so much for watching. I really, 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 really appreciate it. Thank you, Trevor. I appreciate it so much. And thank you guys for being here. All my awesome mods, and also thank you for just in general supporting me. I really do appreciate it. Thank you, I appreciate it. So yes, thank you guys again so much for watching, and I'll see you guys on the next stream. Bye guys. Chicka chicka chicka.